World silver medalist Irina is coming off a huge win over Michelle Kwan at Skate Canada. Tonight, she skates on home ice against a rising American star, Sarah Hughes, who has collected 2 silver medals so far in the Grand Prix Series. Now the 15-year-old looks to jump to the next level and secure a spot in the Grand Prix final for the first time. Russian men's champion Evgeny Plushenko won convincingly last week in Germany. His added strength and maturity have given the 18-year-old even more confidence as he takes the ice here in his hometown against American champ Michael Weiss, who is making his season debut after the world bronze medalist was sidelined due to injury. In pairs, 2-time world champions Berezhnaya and Sikorodlidze are back home taking on a deep, talented field, while the Russian gold medalist in ice dance, Lobacheva and Averbuk, hope to slow the Italians' gold rush, Vuserpoli and Margallo. The Cup of Russia gets underway next. ESPN welcomes you to the 4th of 6 events in the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating. St. Petersburg, Russia, the site, the city built by Peter the Great, and a stunning look at the Church on Spilt Blood, just off of Nevsky Prospect, the main drag in town. We are roughly 20 minutes away in the arena known as SKK, the Sports and Entertainment Center here, getting set for Cup of Russia. And hi, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon. Our journey across the globe continues here in St. Petersburg. 3 events left of 6 here in the Grand Prix Series. Skaters trying to position themselves and earn a trip to Tokyo in mid-February for the Grand Prix final. A little bit later tonight, we'll have the men, the ladies, and the ice dancers out there. But first up, the pairs. And through 3 events in the Grand Prix Series, here are the overall standings. Salé and Pelletier from Canada. They've already wrapped up a ticket to Tokyo, followed by the French team, and then a great battle going on for 3rd place. 2 of the teams involved, well, they're about to skate here in St. Petersburg. And we are joined right now by Olympic silver medalist Peter Carruthers. And Peter, what about one of those 2 teams battling for 3rd place overall? The Russians, they're coming home. 2-time world champions, Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikorodlidze.
Well, last year was a year that they had a lot of controversy and turmoil, and as of late, they had a 2nd place finish at Skate Canada as 2-time world champions. That's not where you want to be. So here in Russia, I think they look to turn things around, try to impress the judges and get some good scores.
It's not always comfortable at home, though. Even though you sleep in your own beds, you're used to the surroundings. 2 years ago, the Grand Prix final was right here. They had an awful day, and Yelena said after that, we're not coming back to compete in St. Petersburg. How about the team that beat them that day from China, Xue Shen and Hongbo Zhao?
A very exciting, dynamic team. What impresses me about them is in 1997, they were 11th at the World Championships. The past 2 World Championships that have taken place, they have won the silver medal. They have a lot of energy within their skating, and you just never know what's going to happen, but they are dynamic.
How about the Americans, Kyokolina and John Zimmerman?
Well, I think for them, last year they didn't get to the Grand Prix finals, so they're hoping to turn it around this year, use the points that they get from Russia, and hopefully qualify for the Grand Prix finals. But Tamara Mosvina has really advanced their skating technically and artistically.
Now remember, you may see skaters up to 3 times in this series, but only 2 of those count in the standings trying to earn that trip to Tokyo in the Grand Prix final. The pairs short program, as always, here are the required elements worth 1/3 of the overall score, and it is 2 minutes and 40 seconds in length.
Górska, Mariusz Siudek, Polsce.
Górska, Mariusz Siudek, Poland.
And we get underway with the team that won the bronze medal at the '99 World Championships. They fell to 5th last season in Nice. From Poland, Dorota Zagorska and Mariusz Siudek.
They have started off very well here with the triple toe loops and a nice split double twist. lately they've had some problems with staying solid all the way through their programs.
Five times the national champions of Poland. They live and train in Auschwitz.
Huge throw triple Salchow. What these two are known for is the lifts that they perform. They're original and they're very difficult. Circular footwork. You make a circle within the rink and you must finish up where you started the circle to make it complete. Now notice I mentioned the lifts. Take a look here. First she'll somersault up into the air in a press lift, then he changes direction, and now he changes direction again and rotates back to the way they started. Very difficult to do. Skated well.
Been together since 1994. There was a judge in Poland who saw them both and suggested they start skating together. Not only started a good team, but also husband and wife. They were married on September 9th this past season after he proposed in Nice at the World Championships. Zagorska and Shudek.
This is the throw triple Salchow. And the man has to make sure that he throws the lady just right, not too much, not too little. It's more of an assist than it is a throw. And this is very impressive. Or the entrance in itself is difficult, but watch how he'll actually change directions while he's turning. First he's going one way, now he's going the other. And that's hard to stop the rotation and then rotate the other way. It's like being a switch hitter in baseball.
It's that different, going one direction and then changing and going the other?
It certainly is. If you're used to rotating in a clockwise direction, that's your comfort zone, or vice versa. But to do both, that's exceptional.
First of two sets for required elements in the 5.4 to 5.5 range.
And these are the first two skaters to be on the ice, so judges always holding the marks, but still they're very consistent.
Always a little bit lower than they might be later in the evening. And the second set for presentation, 5.4s and one 5.5. That from the Polish judge. Dorota Zagorska and Mariusz Shudek getting things underway here in Russia. When we come back, Shuai Shen and Hongbo Zhao, the two-time and reigning world silver medalists from China, skate as Cup of Russia continue. Meanwhile, the action underway here inside the Entertainment and Sports Complex in St. Petersburg, and here are the reigning world silver medalists. They've won that title the last 2 years. Shuai Shen and Hongbo Zhao from China.
The only thing that can go wrong for these two is the fact that they have not had a long history in pair skating. Sometimes they get overexcited and make huge mistakes. Backward outside death spiral. Her head could be lower to the ice on that. That shows the sign of a great death spiral.
This music, by the way, Allegretto, Carl Jenkins.
Here, the side-by-side triple toe loops. Judges looking to see if they both landed on one foot. Those look good. Hard to watch two people at once in pairs when they do those jumps. So sometimes something like that can be missed.
And again, there is no instant replay here. Sometimes see it at the World Championships, but not here throughout the Grand Prix.
The judges can pull up the element that's in question at their position to determine if there was a 2-foot landing in the case of jumps. Watch the height she gets. Big throw, triple loop, but she pitched forward and the toe picks on the front of the skate actually stop you from going right on your face.
Hopefully.
Yes. Element is the split double twist lift. They get fabulous height on that. She lays out in the air, 2 rotations. And you always know that the Chinese are definitely a factor in pairs figure skating, very strong.
And as I mentioned earlier, they won the Grand Prix final right here in St. Petersburg a couple of seasons ago. Really had a great backing and support from the crowd then too, even though they defeated Berezhnaya and Sikoridzidze. Shuei Shen, Hongbo Zhao of China.
This is extraordinary, the height that she gets, and then a landing where she's pitching forward. You saw the ice fly up. That's where the toe pick grabs you so that you're not going down on your face. And this is amazing. Watch how she actually lays out in the air right there and then completes 2 rotations. Nice landing.
Shen and Zhao, a similar experience to that of Berezhnaya Sikoridzidze so far this year. They finished second to Saleh and Peltier at Skate America, and the Russians did the same at Skate Canada. Required element marks now, 5.3 all the way up to 5.8.
Wow. But these are good marks for them, 5.8. A high, down to low is 5.3, somewhat surprising there, but it could be the Germans' range.
Presentation marks higher, 5.6 up to 5.8. So Shen and Zhao into the lead, at least for the moment. Welcome back to Russia. The pair's short program continues now with the American champions taking the ice in their 3rd season together. Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. Their first scoring competition of the Grand Prix this season.
Music from The Truman Show by Burkhard Dalwitz. Remember, they have been coached by one of the world's greatest coaches, Tamara Mosfina. And here, the side-by-side triple toe loops, and John goes down a break in concentration. He cannot make those mistakes if they are to penetrate the top teams in the world. Not to say that this is easy, but it is about managing the pressure of landing those side-by-side triple jumps. Here, the split double twist lift, and a nice set down, great control, easy landing. Now she'll travel about 15 feet across the ice, and she goes down. Sometimes what happens is you're distracted because your partner has fallen.
And sometimes you just fall.
Ice is very slippery.
We saw them at Skate America earlier in the Grand Prix, the first event, but that was a non-scoring competition for them. Remember, you can skate 3 times. 2 count in the standings. We'll see them in Paris at Trophy La Ligue next week.
Train alongside Berezhnaya and Sigralidze. And they have learned a lot by watching them. Combination. Lift. Is a disappointment for them. There's some of the technique that Moskvina uses with the spins, a position that we've seen Dmitriev and Kazakova in within that pair spin, but those mistakes will not be ignored. Big deductions.
Yeah, really high hopes, too, coming here to the hometown of Tamara Moskvina. There she is. Lived here in St. Petersburg when she is not in the States, in Hackensack, New Jersey, training this team and Berezhnaya and Sigralidze. Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman will now await the marks from the judges.
The side-by-side triple jumps. It's John that has the problem here. He just starts to lean to the back of his skate and falls off backwards on the landing. 3/10 of a deduction there, and then probably distracted from that fall. Kyoko, as she's thrown in the air, she's a great single skater, but if you're not thrown just right, this is what can happen. Timing off, and she goes down. 3/10 there. So they're looking at 6/10. We could see marks as low as 5.1 for the required elements.
Well, in the middle, that is the wife of Artur Dmitriev, the Olympic champion. That's Tatiana, who works with them on their ballet skills. A lot of the skaters obviously work on ballet when they're away from the ice. Now the marks, the required elements. Oh, look at these, Peter.
Well, yeah, me being a little optimistic, thinking they were going to get 5.1s down as low as 4.5. This is really a setback for them.
Wow.
And then for presentation, of course, these do come up a little bit, but that is going to take its toll.
5.2 up to 5.6 for presentation. So that is a major disappointment for Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. When we continue from Cup of Russia, the young Americans, who are the U.S. silver medalist, Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon, will be on the ice next. Program Zagorska and Shudek are right behind Shen and Zhao of China, but here are the Americans, the U.S. silver medalists, Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon.
We've seen the trouble the pairs have had on the side-by-side triples, and those completed. Split double twist lift, a split and then 2 rotations. The catch, that is when he puts the lady down on the ice, could be a little bit better in terms of how softly he lands her to the ice.
And Peter, for the first time, yes, I do hear him counting out there on the ice.
And that, of course, is the way that a pair team uses an audio count to keep in unison so that you spin together. Back hand to hand. Press lift with a step through.
Tiffany and Philip have been skating together since June of '97. Last year, a top 10 finish at the World Championships. They surprised a lot of people.
Oh, that wasn't really the best setup, but a nice landing for Tiffany. So far, they're skating very well.
Really came of age last year. And they say they're not surprised at all by finishing 9th at the Worlds. They've been working hard for a long time, and they expected it.
That's better. They're matching the extensions. That's important on a side, on a pair spin. All in all, though, a good performance for them. Considering the mistakes that we've seen in this short program, they were able to step up and do a nice job.
Finished 5th at Skate America to start the Grand Prix. And consider this, Philip's out there skating with a fracture in his left wrist, an injury that he's had for almost a year now, and it just hasn't healed properly. He's got to tape that wrist up to get through the programs. Tiffany Scott and Philip Dulabon.
Here are the side-by-side triple toe loops. And the judges are looking for clean landings, 1 foot with a nice continuous edge. They executed that without any problem. This is the throw triple Salchow. Not great positioning here because she is a little bit far away at the top. He stumbles a bit, but look at how determined she is to land that. So that will certainly help with the scores. No mistake.
Here we go with their marks as Carl Kurtz, one of their coaches, sits in between them. Required elements 5.0 to 5.4.
Well, somewhat, I'm disappointed with a 5.0 from Russia. That seems low. 5.4 is more like it.
From the U.S. judge and the Chinese judge, the 5.4 is now for presentation, Peter. 5.3 up to 5.6.
And again, the 5.6 is definitely a good mark for them, for there were no mistakes and it was a good program.
Tiffany Scott, Philip Dulabon of the U.S. into 4th place right now. Up next, the 2-time world in the short program. Right now, it's Shen and Zhao of China in the lead over Zagorska and Shudek. But here are the hometown kids. Yelena Bereznaya, Anton Sikaridlidze. They are from St. Petersburg.
To Russian folk music. The big hurdle for them will come down to skating all of these required elements without mistakes. It begins here with the side-by-side triple toe loops, getting through that. But remember, at Skate Canada a couple of weeks ago, they had a big crash on the throw triple loop jump. This is the big throw that they fell on at Skate Canada. Hoping to land this. She travels about 15 feet across. Much better.
Twice the world champions, not able to compete last season in Nice because of the failed drug test at the European Championships. The cold medicine that was banned and taken by Yelena Bereznaya. They won Europeans, but that title was stripped away.
Nice unison on the spins. leverage they get across the ice. Traveling a long distance in that lift. Backward outside death spiral. Not their strongest element, but there's no mistake there. They turned in a very good performance in terms of what they have been through of getting things going here in this season. A little bit unstable on that throw triple loop, but still, she landed it, and she's quite happy to have that behind her for sure.
Especially meaningful as you look at Tamara Moscovina. She trains them as they live in Hackensack, New Jersey now, but Yelena Berezhnaya's parents have not been able to visit her in the States. Not been able to get a visa to come and see her in New Jersey, so it's got to be meaningful for her to be back here in Russia and to compete in front of them. Berezhnaya and Sika Redlidze, the reigning Russian national champs.
Here's a look at the side-by-side triple toe loops. Notice how close together they are as they leap up into the air on these jumps, and nice one-foot landings. Very good. But this is what she really wanted to get past. She's been having trouble with this. This is the throw triple loop, taking off of a right backward outside edge, and then she pitches forward, but she won't go down. She's able to hold that landing. Very nice.
As you might imagine, it took some time to get off the ice. A lot of well-wishers came down to the side of the rink. And now the marks. The first for required elements, 5.7 up to 5.9, Peter.
Well, these are clearly first-place marks. It would be very difficult to beat these marks at this point. They are classic pair skaters, continuing in the Russian tradition that has for so long dominated this sport. Very strong.
Presentation marks, you look at those, 5.8s, 5.9s, and no question about it. Was there any doubt? Berezhnaya and Sika Redlidze into the lead. So the Russians have the lead over Shen and Zhao of China. That'll be a great showdown in the free skate. Zagorska and Shudek from Poland in third. The Americans, Scott and Dulaban, nice place, fifth after the short program, and Ina and Zimmerman a disappointing seventh. Don't forget the men on the ice warming up for their short programs, and through 3 events in the Grand Prix, here are the overall standings. It is Timothy Gable, the American, who has already locked up a spot in the Grand Prix final in Tokyo. Todd Eldridge in second, right behind. And Alexei Yagudin, the 3-time world champion from Russia, is in third right now. Hi again, Terry Gannon back with Peter Carruthers. Evgeny Plushenko has been the man that everyone's talking about this week. Peter, he comes home, and here's a youngster who, yeah, he had his troubles at the World Championships last season, but he dominated the Grand Prix Series, winning every one of his events, including the final. And he's got the edge this week because he's able to sleep in his own bed all week.
Well, St. Petersburg is an important place for Plushenko. When he was 11 years old, he traveled from his hometown of Volgograd, almost 1,000 miles, to come here and train. Now at this competition, he hopes to pick up points in his first point-scoring Grand Prix event. Last week, a big win in Germany. Look for that amazing quadruple toe loop, triple toe combination in the short program. It helped them win last week, and it might again this week.
Now, as opposed to Plushenko, who is skating here at home, Michael Weiss, the U.S. champion, don't really know what to expect from Michael Weiss. This is his season debut, and he's had to travel halfway across the globe to get here.
Absolutely. In fact, we talked to him this afternoon, and he said the reason he likes to come in late to the competition, just arriving last night from Washington, D.C., is because he doesn't want to be under a microscope. He'd rather be in his own familiar surroundings training so that he doesn't get the scrutiny. But he's been a little bit of a mystery so far in the Grand Prix because a stress fracture in his left foot has kept him out of the Grand Prix. So let's see if he can put it all together in the short program.
And he told us he still does have some pain in that left foot, but it's okay to skate. He should be fine. And he also told us, even with the time change and the long trip, he had a great night's sleep last night here in St. Petersburg. Well, the short program, as always, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in length. Here are the 8 required elements. and it is worth 1/3 of the overall score. Here we go as Ivan Denev of Bulgaria takes the ice. The 22-year-old from Sofia, coming off a 5th-place finish at Nations Cup last week in Germany. If you saw the show, he broke a blade in the warm-up and borrowed one to go out there and skate. It may have been the most impressive 5th-place finish we had seen in a long time.
Opening quadruple toe loop. You may have noticed that he didn't flow out on the landing as well as he could have. A 2-foot touchdown. Take a little bit off the front of the score. That is the required elements. Triple axel, double toe loop. Has always been one that does something a little different with the theme of the short program. Here he's skating to Afro-Celt sound system. Always a little bit esoteric in his theme.
Dropped a few spots last year at the World Championship when he finished 18th, but he did place 5th at Europeans. That was the best finish ever for a Bulgarian skater at that competition. Been on the scene for some time now.
Well, last week we saw him break a blade in the practice or the warm-up for the free program. He's since got that all taken care of, and he's come out, done a pretty good short program, but some mistakes that will take off the first mark.
May have been more energetic with that borrowed blade last week than we saw him here in the short. Ivan Denev.
So the judges are looking to see if there's a 2-foot landing on the jumps, and on this quad, he will pick in with the left foot. That's what gets him up in the air. Arms and legs coming in, but very slight. But we'll check right here. Watch to see if the left foot touches down. Yes, just barely. You can see how incredible this instant replay is. As you mentioned, Terry, you see this at the Worlds for the judges. They can check it out, but not here. This is the triple axel. And then the double toe loop. No instant replay for the judges here, but they get it at Worlds.
And even at the World Championships, they don't have it in the free skate. They just have it in the short program. No real movement, it seems, to get it in other events either. Required element marks now, the first set, 4.9 to 5.5.
But look at the Bulgarian judge giving him a 4.9 and the French judge giving him a 5.5. And then in presentation, all of these marks come up.
5.2 up to 5.7 the range for presentation. So Ivan Denev gets things underway here in the men's short program. When we come back, the 2-time U.S. national champion Michael Weiss takes the ice for the first time this season. He's coming off a stress fracture in his left foot, which caused him to start the season much later than planned.
I'm in a position that I'm used to. I mean, I went through this exact same thing last year. The stress fracture was in a different area, but luckily throughout my career, I've been, injury-free until the last 2 years. So, I've gotten used to being in this position. Last year, I got a late start as well. I didn't skate well at my 2 Grand Prix events because of my injury last year. But then that made me get home and start working again and come back strong. I had a great national championships and world championships last year. So, sometimes it's kind of a blessing in disguise. It makes you go back to the roots of skating and work a lot on your programs because you can't jump as much, and then the programs start getting a lot better when you do that.
St. Petersburg as Michael Weiss steps onto the ice, the reigning U.S. champion, and he has been off the entire season with the stress fracture in his left foot. A lot of question marks coming in, and as Peter said earlier, just got here last night in St. Petersburg, so we will see how he skates.
And actually, in his warm-up, he has had some trouble. 2 missed attempts at the triple axel, so I'm curious to know how he's going to handle this. And it gets started with a very important quadruple toe loop, triple toe. Here's the quad. Oh, and down he goes.
Peter, you're right. You can't always tell what a guy's going to do in practice and then in the game, so to speak, in his warm-up, in his short program, but he did have an awful warm-up.
Yeah, it was just uncharacteristic of him to look as though his timing was off. Let's see if he can get it here with the triple. There it is. That same thing was happening in the warm-up. I wonder what's wrong. It almost looks like it's more than just a timing problem. But the fact remains that he is losing in terms of the deductions that are going to come his way for the required elements. Now, triple Lutz, a foot touching down there. Oh.
Well, certainly not the start to this event and to his season that he had hoped for. Inconsistent last year in the Grand Prix. Did not make the Grand Prix final, but of course he won his 2nd straight U.S. championship last year over Timothy Gable and his 2nd straight world bronze medal. So a great finish to last season.
The other thing that I'm noticing is that he doesn't appear to be covering the ice with the great speed that he usually has. Well, that's certainly a slow start for him here in Russia with those mistakes.
Coming off of that stress fracture in his left foot, he told us today that still gets a lot of treatment on it. Ultrasound, massage therapy, the ice, everything. And there is some pain still in his skating. Certainly a painful experience for him here in the short program.
Here's the quadruple toe loop that really got off to a bad start. He just, a 2-foot touchdown leaning, and it looked as though he hadn't really even prepared properly for this quad. And here's another look. The feet are a little bit loose in the air, but it just appears that his timing was completely off on this jump. But this had to really shock him. A quad is so hard to do. You have to say that for sure, but his triple axel is something that he does regularly. And there, just a big single, and he under-rotated less revolutions than he was trying for by far.
They do.
Well, Michael Weiss so disappointed in what just took place. He's going to walk off, not even going to wait for the scores here.
Well, these scores are abysmal for him. I mean, as low as 4.4.
Yeah, I haven't seen marks that low in a long time for Michael Weiss.
He knows it. I mean, it happens. He just said.
Tough start to the season for the American champion. Off he goes. When we come back, the defending Grand Prix champion at home, Evgeny Plushenko. Always known as a jumper, he says his artistry comes naturally.
Наверное, это мне дал дар Бог, наверное. И, наверное, это точно.
I guess it is God-given. No, for sure it is from God. We are not concentrating just on the artistry. I am not doing any special ballet classes. I think it's just from God.
Plushenko, Россия.
Well, we've seen the American champion have a very tough night here in St. Petersburg. What about the reigning Russian national champion, Evgeny Plushenko, the two-time world medalist, 2000 European champion? Here he goes, getting his short program underway, coming off a terrific win at Nations Cup in Germany last week. Not many opportunities to skate in your hometown, and this has been his hometown since he was 11 years old.
Well, he was absolutely so solid in Germany last week. Let's see if he can continue that momentum. This is the quad, the first. And look at the consistency he has. Triple axel. Remember, Michael Weiss was only able to do a single, but that was just like a walk in the park for him. A triple axel, fantastic.
Peter, when you watch him skate, now for the second week in a row, he's been so good. And he was so good in the Grand Prix series last year. Won everything he skated in, including the Grand Prix final. It is kind of amazing how he fell apart at the World Championships.
Again, that was the best thing that ever happened to him, because it jolted him into realizing that you cannot be complacent. You have to attack every event. What he has is the eye of the tiger now. The blinders are on, and he's just going to get the job done at all costs. Just floating through the jumps.
Like his choreography?
It's at times a little over the top, but I love the intensity that he has with it. It's different, but he's trained, he executes, and he'll be tough to beat.
Was able to make enough money in his career to last year buy his parents, his entire family, a flat here in St. Petersburg. For the first time in a long time, they all live under the same roof. What a way to start the Cup of Russia at home for the 18-year-old Evgeny Plushenko.
Oh, does he get the judge's attention when he does quads like this? You see how the leg gets back to stop the rotation, the arms come out, and then the flare that he has on the landing. His feet are really close together to generate that rotation, and then he's got that strength to stop those 4 rotations and then do a nice triple after that. A little flick of the hand shows you that he's in total control of the jump. And then I just think he's athletic, muscles through this triple axel. Even if he's off in the air slightly, you'd never know it because he's so strong.
Got to have some high marks coming now as he sits alongside Alexei Mishin, a legendary coach here in St. Petersburg. 5.8, couple of those, and the rest 5.9s.
What can you say? They're just about perfect marks for a perfect skating
Presentation marks, one 5.8, the rest 5.9s. Wow. Evgeny Plushenko into the lead solidly. When we come back, the youngster from Canada, Fedor Andreev. He was born here in Russia, and he cannot wait to take the ice.
It's great to be back in my home country, and I guess I get to see all my relatives, this and that. But it's a competition for me, so I have to stay focused on the competition, and that's what I'm here for. So just go out and skate.
The men's short program continues. Evgeny Plushenko in the lead over Ivan Denev, but here is Fedor Andreev from Canada, but originally from Russia. Spent his early years in Russia.
Opening triple Lutz. Double toe loop, triple toe loop. With no quad planned, he certainly wants to execute the jumps that he has planned perfectly. Now the triple axel. Axel always takes off forwards. Only a double on that.
His claim to fame to this point is not only the fact that his mother is Irina, the choreographer for, among others, Gordieva and Grinkov, but also every woman in our truck working with us here in St. Petersburg has talked about this guy all week. An Abercrombie and Fitch model last season. Saw him at Skate Canada, where he placed 6th.
Triple flip. Oh, he could try to make that spin go a little bit faster. That is more speed in the rotation. There, that's better. Well, he performed his short program quite well. He only did a double axel, but that is within the requirements. You can do a double axel. There's no deduction for that.
18-year-old, got some potential, Peter.
He does. He's someone that if he works really hard, you just never know where he can take his skating. This is the triple Lutz. Nice height on this, and then impressive right after that, the triple toe loop. And he had better run out on this than he did in practice, so the excitement of competition bringing him up a level within that jump.
There's his mom, Marina Zoueva. He is funny when he talks about her. He says, yeah, I know she's really famous in skating, but to me, you know, she's just mom. That's it. First set for required elements, 4.6 up to 5.1. And I'm being told now that it was this season that he was in the Abercrombie & Fitch catalog, so I correct myself. Not last year. Presentation marks 5.0 up to 5.3. So Fedor Andreev of Canada into 6th place right now. When Cup of Russia continues, the American Matt Savoie, who's coming off a bit of a surprise bronze medal at Skate Canada, starting to make a name for himself on the international scene.
It feels good. I mean, I didn't really have a great beginning summer season, so to have done well at Canada and then to come here, I don't want to say that my expectations are high, but I'm certainly feeling better than I had been.
Приглашается Мэтью Савойе, Соединенные Штаты Америки.
Matthew Savoie, USA.
Back at Cup of Russia, and Evgeny Plushenko is your leader right now over Ivan Denev. Michael Weiss down in 4th, so American hopes may rest on the shoulders of this man, Matt Savoie. The 20-year-old from Peoria, Illinois, the 2000 World Junior bronze medalist. Peter, this is a big opportunity for Savoie now.
Especially with the season he's had, he's been good. And there's the triple axel. No quad planned in the program, but remember that in the short program, you get deductions from mistakes. So if he can pull off his triple flip, triple toe, that could really bode well for him. There's the triple flip, there's the triple toe, and that was solid. That's just what he needed to do.
Well, he's told us his biggest thrill was the bronze medal at last year's Nations Cup in the Grand Prix. He won another bronze this season at Skate Canada and picked up 7 points, but he's got an opportunity to do even better than that here in Russia.
Change camel. The straight line step, consisting of footwork. Short program designed to show all sides of skating. Footwork, spins, jumps. All together. You see how he just fired off that triple Lutz. The good footwork going into that will make the judges respect the fact that he has good agility and he's a good jumper.
Hey, what about that from Matt Savoie?
Well, you know, considering what he just put down on the ice and what has happened thus far in the competition, this should move him up within the top for sure. Whether it's second or third, that remains to be seen, but he certainly has earned good marks here, or should get them.
Yeah, realistically, he could go to 2nd place behind Plushenko.
Here's something that he does so well. He skates within his limits. He's got good jumping technique. Look how nice the run out is on the landing. Sets him up perfectly for the second triple toe loop. Those feet coming together to generate rotation, excellent. And he really takes his time, doesn't rush, doesn't fool with his timing, and that allows him to have a nice run out on the landing. So he's really delivered well here. Triple Lutz, firing it off right out of footwork. I like the way he has that quick stepping footwork going into the triple Lutz. Nice.
Well, he can't do much more than what he just did. There's his longtime coach, Linda Brannan. She's been with him since he was 9 years old. Here's the first set of marks, Peter.
You said it, Terry. He can't do more than what he just did. However, what he did very well, and that's why these scores are good. Actually, in some cases, they should be higher, but I'm curious to see now how this factors into the placements.
Presentation marks 5.1 up to 5.6, and there he goes. Matt Savoie into second place, right behind Evgeny Plushenko. He has got to be thrilled with that.
Well deserved.
So as expected, Evgeny Plushenko has the lead going into the free skate. What wasn't expected was to see Matt Savoie right behind him in second place. And a disappointing, to say the least, short program for the American champion Michael Weiss, who is in sixth right now. Well, Peter Carruthers has made his way over to have a word with Matt Savoie. Peter.
Okay, Terry, well, we've got Matt Savoie in second place after the short program. Skate Canada, you took third. Now you're in second here. Were you on a roll this year, huh?
Sort of. I didn't really skate my best in Skate Canada, so I don't consider it a roll, but I'm certainly happy with how I skated tonight.
Now, you didn't do the quad. You've got the triple combination. Do you feel that hurts you at all? Certainly not in this case.
I don't think it hurt me. As long as I skate cleanly, I can just bank on my consistency, but I don't know. I'm just happy with how I skated, and my goal is to skate cleanly, and that's what I did.
Well, you did a great job, and good luck on the free program.
Thank you.
Okay, Terry.
All right, Peter, thank you. This is the man he will be chasing, Evgeny Plushenko. Yes, you can go home again. Welcome back to St. Petersburg. The Cup of Russia continues. Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers back with you, getting set for the original dance. And through 3 events in the Grand Prix, Fusar-Poli and Margallo, the overall leaders, they're a lock for the Grand Prix final. Born in Kratz of Canada in second, and Anasina and Pezara, the reigning world champs, in third. But here in Russia, it's the reigning world silver medalists who are the headliners and the favorites, Fusar-Poli and Margallo. Why are they here? Well, to keep momentum, but also to earn a living. Top prize is $30,000. The return of the Russian national champions. They'll be on the ice a little bit later. Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk. They fell apart a little bit last year trying to get it back together. And the team representing Israel, Galit Chait, Sergei Soknovsky, a team really on the move. They jumped from 13th to 5th place at last year's World Championships. And here are the standings after the compulsory dance. Fusar-Poli and Margallo, no surprise, they're in the lead over the Russian team, and then it's Chait and Soknovsky in third right now. The original dance, the second of 3 phases of the competition, as always, 2.5 minutes long, and we're 30% of the overall score. And right out of the gate, here are the favorites and the leaders, Barbara Fusar-Poli and Maurizio Margallo.
Have you seen the Welterton of Atlantic Avenue on that famous...
What these two have attained is a very light, quick style to their dancing. No wasted effort. Now they set up for their step sequence. This is the straight line. 2 arm lengths apart, and a trip right there. Maurizio having trouble. But really able to get right back. This is the dance spin, a minimum of 3 revolutions.
This is the 3rd time in the Grand Prix series that we have seen the Italians. This is their non-scoring competition. Remember, you can skate in 3, but only 2 count in the standings. They won the gold medal at Skate America to open up, then the gold medal last week at Nations Cup in Germany.
They have been very strong. However, a small mistake like that ice dancing can be monumental in the score.
Although this season we've seen the judges be very lenient with the top teams when they make a mistake, a stumble in the original dance. Haven't really paid for it.
Stops are allowed. in the original dance. Now this is their diagonal step. Notice they are now skating together as opposed to 2 arm lengths apart. Harder to skate together. There's more of a chance to trip. The art of becoming a great ice dancing team is to make a mistake and just plow through it and make the judges think that I didn't make any mistakes. Barbara's expression throughout, very rehearsed and perfect for the character.
Barbara Fusser-Poli and Maurizio Margaglio of Italy, the reigning world silver medalists.
Now this is complicated footwork. It combines a lot of fast turns, changes of direction within the steps, but watch Maurizio as he approaches there. A stumble, but boy, does he pick it up quickly. A small error, but they will feel that in the score.
Now, they haven't met Anasina and Pezzara yet this season, the reigning world champs who they finished right behind in Nice. They certainly will at the Grand Prix final. First set of marks in ice dancing, it's for composition here in the original dance. 5.5 up to 5.8.
Well, you have to kind of laugh a little bit to see a 5.8 and now a 5.9 from the Italian judge in spite of the mistake.
Presentation marks 5.7 up to 5.9 from the Italian judge. So Fusser-Poli and Margaglio get things underway. Up next, the team on the move from Israel. Galit Chait and Sergei Soknovsky skate. Here comes the team in third place after the compulsory dance. Galit Chait and Sergei Soknovsky of Israel. We talked about the move they made last year at Worlds. They were 6th at the European Championships, and we've seen them already in the Grand Prix a couple of times, including a silver medal at Skate Canada. With a silver here, they would secure a spot in the Grand Prix final.
Skating to sing, sing, sing. Their rhythms will be the quick step, foxtrot, and quick step. She shows a lot of agility on the twizzles to move on the toe pick so quickly. This is the side-by-side footwork.
Peter, you did a little ice dancing in your younger days, didn't you?
Yes, my sister and I actually went to nationals in junior dance, but it was a far cry from what we're seeing here.
And what you accomplished as a pair skater, I might add.
But I think it's so important to point out that this is a very intense. It is athletic because it's exhausting.
Galit Chait's parents, Peter, were born here in Russia. In fact, she grew up speaking Russian. She was born in Israel and moved to New York when she was just 9 months old, but certainly has ties to this area. And Sergei Soknovsky, his original hometown is Moscow.
As I was saying, that these steps can really tire you out. You're changing dance holds and the feet going in all directions. And what they're creating is a lot of energy when they skate. Their dance lift. A clean performance for them, no mistakes.
Pretty fast, aren't they?
They are quick. And again, they are really making a strong impression in the world of ice dancing.
In third after the compulsories, trying to move up, Galit Chait and Sergei Sakhnovsky. Well, when we come back, the return of the Russian national champions, Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk, take the ice here at home in Russia. Galit Chait, Sergei Sakhnovsky, the first set for composition. There they are, Peter.
Don't forget, there is a battle going on here. This team is trying to break in above Lobacheva and Averbuk. And so now with their presentation scores, he's all very strong, up to 5.8. So we have a good competition here.
Team from Israel right behind Fusarpoli and Margallo from Italy. Now the cheers from the crowd. You can hear them rise right now because here are the reigning Russian national champions back home, Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk in second place after the compulsory dance. Last year, they dropped off a bit, but they're trying to get it back.
Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy.
Spin.
Come on, my house, come on. Come on, my house,
They were scheduled to compete earlier in the Grand Prix, but they had to pull out because of Irina's flu bug and lower back pain. She says she still does have some pain.
Come on, my house, come on. Come on, my house, come on.
Not particularly difficult with the steps, but very smooth throughout on the straight line step sequence.
I'm gonna give you everything. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Over the runner.
Here is the diagonal step sequence. It has to go from one corner of the rink all the way to the end of the other. When you run on your toes like that and you don't have turns, it's not as difficult as it is when you're turning. That's a great ending. Very original. They skated without any mistakes.
Pretty good impression to leave on the judges at the end of a program, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, they live and train in Newark, Delaware. So very special for them to come home and compete here in Russia. Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk.
Diagonal footwork, skating close. When you run like that, it's not as hard. See, when they start to turn and change position, that's hard. But you can see just how close those blades come together, and you really want to make sure your tracking is just right with your partner. And I gotta love this. Watch this. She'll go right up and do a full cartwheel over. Nice job. Very original. Here
Not
it is.
done yet, Peter. There you go.
There's the cartwheel I was looking for.
Natalia Linachuk, one of their coaches, the 1980 Olympic ice dancing gold medalist. Now the first set for composition, 5.4 up to 5.7.
Wondering if they can hold off Chait and Seknovsky.
You know, last year they changed their free dance because a couple of judges early on told them to do so. And then after they finished off the podium at Worlds, a couple of judges says, why'd you change? You can't ever figure them out.
Right.
Presentation marks 5.5 to 5.8.
Very strong 5.8s from the Russian and Italian judge. So they have to be pleased with that.
And they move ahead of the team from Israel into second place right behind the Italians. Up next, the team from right here in Russia, Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov. Skate when Cup of Russia continue. Back at the Cup of Russia, the original dance continues. Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov of Russia taking the ice. Tatiana, the wife of Alexander Zhulin, the world champion ice dancer. Place after the compulsories.
Where they really attack their dancing. Each time they stroke off of an edge, they really accelerate, showing great power.
A good story with these two, too, Peter. Tatiana and Roman skated together at the '99 Worlds, and then Natalia Linachuk, their coach, asked Roman to get a new partner, which he did. He skated with Anna Semenovich at the 2000 Worlds. Tatiana, of course, married Alexander Zhulin. They had a daughter together, and just a month after giving birth, she went back on the ice to skate with Roman again.
That's a way to get back in shape. Straight line, footwork. There's the dance spin. Unlike pair skating, you don't see low sit positions and camel positions. The original dance is not designed to be anything like that. It's more about footwork and showing versatility within the various dance holds and variation of steps. Allowed to stop. Two times in the program. Their second dance lift. Not many moms can skate like that, that's for sure. Very nice performance for them.
Now, one of the teams trying to revitalize the ice dance program here in Russia, Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov.
On this dance lift, the centrifugal force can really add up, but they control it nicely as they go through. And then their footwork very close together. Whenever you see him turn like that or her turn, more difficult than just stepping forwards or backwards.
There's Sasha Zhulin, their coach and the husband of Tatiana, world champion ice dancer himself. There's the first set now for composition.
Surprisingly low, 5.0 from the Israeli judge. The dance was better than that score.
In a little bit of a battle with the team from Israel, of course, for that third spot now. For presentation, there are the marks. Pretty wide range there, too.
Up to 5.6, down to 5.0. You could say that.
So Nafka and Kostomarov, Mark's putting them right now into 4th place, right behind the team from Israel. When we come back, the current Canadian champions take the ice. Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon as the original dance continues from St. Petersburg. The final couple in the original dance taking the ice now. The team from Canada, Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon, the current Canadian national champions, and they lit it up at Skate Canada too. They captured the bronze medal, and who knows, the rest of the year they may challenge Born in Kratz north of the border.
Certainly within the free dance that they displayed at Skate Canada, it was really the talk of the competition.
Yeah.
M is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see.
What I like about this team is they're very comfortable with their skating. They're not over the top with their facial expressions or their gestures. It's just nice, clean skating. And they have very good knees. And what I mean by that is they really sink low in the knees to give a nice flow across the ice.
Let's lay out and listen to Nat King Cole for a while, huh?
It's more than just a game for two love and make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
With what they did at Skate Canada, and as impressive as they were, you surprised to see them so low in 6th place right now?
A little bit, actually. But let's see what they do here. This is their straight line step. Remember, the judges are looking for turns, mohawks, 3 turns, counters. Those are the steps that make up turns in figure skating. Spin, easily completing 3 revolutions. That's the minimum. I like them a lot. They, again, create a nice ease in their skating. They're not on the level of the Italians, certainly technically. However, they're on the right track.
I didn't have a good compulsory dance here, but coming back strong here in the original dance. Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon.
The trick to this footwork is to carry it from one end of the ice to the other and maintain the speed while you're making these turns, these difficult turns, look easy. And again, unison is so important, making sure you're stepping on the ice exactly at the same time your partner is. And here, they look quite good.
See what the judges think of this original dance now. Composition marks, wow, 4.8, Peter.
Surprisingly low, but maybe not such a surprise since it's from the Israeli judge, who certainly has an interest in Chait and Seknovsky.
And now presentation marks, 5.0 up to 5.6. Again, a very wide range.
Amazing, up to 5.6.
So Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon right now in 5th place. So as expected, the reigning world silver medalists from Italy, Fusarpoli and Margallo in the lead. The Russians, Lobacheva and Averbuk in 2nd, and the team from Israel, Chait and Soknovsky, have the 3rd spot. Don't forget, Russian national champion Irina Slutskaya knows the highs and lows that come with the territory. After surging to an upset win at last year's Grand Prix final, her hopes of a world title came crashing down when she was forced to settle for the silver last season in Nice. Now, following a season-opening victory over Michelle Kwan, she returns home as a confident favorite this week in Russia. The young American phenom Sarah Hughes is also extremely confident. She's nearly pulled off 2 major upsets in the Grand Prix so far and may be ready to break through here. While Sasha Cohen has roots in this part of the world, the 16-year-old Californian is determined to play the spoiler role in St. Petersburg. The ladies' short program is next. Nighttime in St. Petersburg, and the centerpiece of this city, the magnificent Hermitage, where the Tsars once lived and ruled Russia, and now one of the world's great museums. We are across town inside the Sports and Entertainment Center here as Cup of Russia continues. The ladies taking the ice, warming up for their short programs. And right now, through 3 events in the Grand Prix, the overall standings look like this. Michelle Kwan has the lead, followed by Maria Butyrskaya, and then Sarah Hughes, an important competition for her here, trying to lock up a spot at the Grand Prix final. Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers back with you. No question, most of the attention this week here in St. Petersburg focused on Irina Slutskaya coming home. Peter, you know the story. 2 years ago, an awful year. She almost quit, but she came back strong last year. Despite her problems at the World Championships, it was a great year. She is the defending Grand Prix champion.
Absolutely. I think she's really going to continue that momentum this year at Skate Canada. She picked up a big win, upsetting world champion Michelle Kwan. But for me, Slutskaya has this sense of energy within her skating. When she's not skating well, she looks sluggish, and we have seen none of that here in Russia with her.
So far, yeah. How about Sarah Hughes, the young American?
Oh,
now,
yeah.
all she's done this year is grab 2 silver medals in the Grand Prix. Second place. Who'd she finish behind? Well, 2 world champions, Maria Butyrskaya and Michelle Kwan, and you can argue that she outskated both of them.
Yeah, you've got a 15-year-old taking on the world, but the key to her success actually lies within the practice. Whenever she's on practice, she runs her jumps and spins within the program from top to bottom. This gives her the confidence that she needs to meet the pressure when she's competing. As for Sasha Cohen from the United States, well, a very slow start for her in Germany last week. She had 3 hard falls, but you have to enter her great coach, John Nix, who redirected her attention to the competition this week. Put your arms around the future, back up against the past. Let's see if she can come back and meet the challenge here in Russia.
John Nick's been around a long time, and he says that she is one of the toughest skaters he has ever been around. That's a huge statement. Well, the short program, as always, 2 minutes and 40 seconds in length. These are the 8 required elements in the short program, worth 1/3 of the overall score. Is the teenager from Great Neck, New York, who trains in Hackensack, New Jersey, Sarah Hughes. Time to step up to the next level in her mind and capture a gold medal. Big challenge here in Russia.
Combination, the triple Lutz, double toe loop, there's the triple, and a very relaxed double toe loop.
Peter, what an experience for a 15-year-old to travel the world, not only to compete and do as well as she's doing, but she was in Germany last week, stayed there for a couple of days afterward. Couldn't wait to get here to Russia to see some of the sights, the Hermitage and Peter the Great's Museum of Oddities.
Second hardest triple in this program. This is the triple flip. Something she's really worked on this year with her coach, Robin Wagner, is the expression within her skating, and that is much improved over last year. A beautiful layback position.
She narrowly missed qualifying for the Grand Prix final last season. In a position now with perhaps even a silver medal. Not a sure thing, but she should be able to wrap up a spot in Tokyo.
Very nice. It just had a wonderful pacing to it. Relaxed, confident. She's always sure of herself, as I mentioned earlier. That training really paying off.
It's a great point. Look at how relaxed she is. A close-up view we saw a moment ago. I mean, not out of breath. And you mentioned the training and endurance that she has. A great trait when you're traveling around the world and you have to keep up your competitiveness. Sarah Hughes.
Now, the double axel in itself isn't her most difficult jump, but take a look at the landing, how she goes right into a beautiful arabesque position, showing great control and great run out. Lovely. And then my colleague Dick Button certainly will agree with this. The layback position is wonderful. The leg where it's positioned is what makes it so great, along with the back and arms.
Sarah and her coach, Robin Wagner, and always tough to skate first. They leave room, as always, but for required elements, the first of two sets of marks, 5.2 to 5.5.
And a very low 5.2 from the Russian judge. Now the presentation.
And here are those marks, 5.5 up to 5.7, Peter. So those much higher, but you're right, that 5.2, you wonder about that from the Russian judge for required elements.
Very surprising. Looks as though they got a deduction, but I didn't see it on the first mark.
So Sarah Hughes gets the ladies short program underway. When we come back, the 20-year-old who lives and trains right here in St. Petersburg, Yelena Sokolova, takes the ice next. Back at Cup of Russia here in St. Petersburg, Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers ringside as the ladies short program continues with Yelena Sokolova. She is from Moscow, but she lives and trains right here in town in St. Petersburg.
Very strong start for her. Triple Lutz double toe loop.
Yelena really trying to turn her career around. She finished 8th at the World Championships in '98, but tough competition here in Russia. She has not made the European or World Championship teams the last 2 seasons.
And right there, a nice triple loop jump. Depth in ladies figure skating in Russia has really pushed all of these ladies from Russia to a much higher level because they're all fighting for that top spot that Slutskaya has.
Slutskaya, Butirskaya, Volchkova, in the past Soldatova. The names go on and on.
Now her layback position, not as good as Sarah Hughes. The foot is not turned out, not as attractive.
But the hometown crowd, some of them on their feet, very loud here. Well, we saw her finish third, capture the bronze medal at Skate America, so she got off to a very good start this season in the Grand Prix and continuing that here at home in Russia. Yelena Sokolova.
What impresses me about this jump is the fact that she does get up into the air so high, good rotation, and then stops the rotation to prepare for the nice double toe loop and a good run out on the landing. Notice the position in her layback. Remember Sarah Hughes, her foot turned out a little more and her knee higher off the ice. So she'll want to work on that to improve it. A lot of energy though.
Now the marks. And she is excited enough to get up and walk away already. 5.2 up to 5.7 the first set, Peter.
A very big range there from all of the judges. And now this presentation mark all the way up to 5.8 from the German judge. So she's got to be pleased with that.
And Sokolova goes into first place over Sarah Hughes at this point. Well, when we come back, the U.S. silver medalist tries to make amends. Sasha Cohen, a disappointing start a week ago in Germany, but now she comes into this competition with a brand new mindset.
I think it's very important because it's televised and it's competing with senior skaters who compete at Worlds, and it's good exposure to international judges. So it's a very important event for myself, so I really hope that I do well.
Meanwhile, the ladies' short program continues here in Russia. Sasha Cohen taking the ice, the 16-year-old from Laguna Niguel, California. Can she come back strong after a disappointing performance last week in Germany? The reigning U.S. silver medalist. She was very good in the short program in Germany, but disaster struck in the free skate.
That's all behind her now. The matter at hand is this first triple Lutz. Double toe loop. Nice. The right foot will jab into the ice to vault her into the air for the triple flip. Two big jumps down.
Sasha's family is here with her. Her mother is originally from Ukraine and was a gymnast. In fact, her grandfather was a gymnast who once performed for Stalin back in the days of the Soviet Union.
Coming back very determined, executing her elements. The last jump in the program, the double axel, that's finished. She's such a lyrical skater on the ice, really senses the music well. And also the elements are all so polished, finished off just the way they should be. Nice variation on the sit spin to a layback. This her last element, the combination spin. Look at the speed she gets, and she's got that behind her, Terry. She's moved forward, and she's done very well here in the short program in Russia.
Yeah, if there were any questions about how she could come back, John Nix tried to answer them and telling us how tough she was, and we saw him last week consoling her, being so encouraging. But if there are any lingering questions, she's just answered them. Terrific short program for Sasha Cohen.
This, the first jump in her program, the triple Lutz, the right foot gets her up into the air as she picks in and has a fairly good landing, and then the double toe loop. I simply love the way she skates so fast into these elements, and look at the position she attains within the spins, the turned out foot, the nice position within the sit spin, and then showing great variation on the layback into a back sit spin, and then up for a nice closing back spin. Very good. Nicely done.
Well, her coach, John Nix, just told her the marks do not matter here. You were great out on the ice. That's what matters. Now, the first set, 5.0
all the way
5.6.
Amazing to see such a range, especially from the Hungarian judge at 5.0. Surprisingly low.
And now for presentation, these are much higher, 5.4 up to 5.7, but it puts Sasha Cohen into third place right behind Sarah Hughes. Up next, the 24-year-old from Kiev, Ukraine, Yelena Lyashenko, takes the ice as Cup of Russia continues. Right now, it's Yelena Sokolova in the lead over Sarah Hughes and Sasha Cohen. But here's the 24-year-old from Kiev, Ukraine, Yelena Lyashenko. We saw her a week ago at Nations Cup in Germany. She placed fourth. Quite frankly, she's trying to get back to the form of the mid-90s when she finished sixth at Worlds in '94 and won the bronze medal at the European Championships in '95.
Opening triple Lutz, double toe loop, and really she has improved herself. There's more confidence in her skating, and she appears to have more speed. She's not as tentative when she skates, and that's what her downfall has been in the past. Triple flip, and she was really concentrating going into that, but determined not to fall down. She had some time when she was skating, when she was very tentative, and that really hurt her jumps. And that layback position, that foot's not turned out. That is the foot that's off the ice, and that is something that needs to be improved.
From Eastern Europe. She started skating because she was very sick as a child. The doctors told her parents, bring her out onto the ice. She had bronchitis, pneumonia. She had 4 operations on her lungs by the time she was 6 years old. Skating was one of the ways that she got healthy. She did get through the program, and again, she is improving herself within the speed that she has in the skating. A little bit tentative, but she was able to get through the required elements. This, the triple Lutz. Good air position. Judges always looking to see if there's a 2-foot touchdown. There's, of course,
No touchdown there, and a good landing on the second jump, double toe loop.
Yelena a little bit out of breath, but normally in this building you would see her breath. It's been so cold in the past here, but a little warmer this time of year, and they may have the heat on for the first time in this arena. First set of marks, 5.1 to 5.4.
Now, there was not a lot of excitement within the program, and that does weigh in, even though there were no real deductions.
Longtime coach Marina Merkanova alongside. Presentation marks now, 5.2 up to 5.5. Plushenko of Ukraine into fourth behind Sasha Cohen. When we come back, the headliner takes the ice. Irina Slutskaya, the reigning world silver medalist from Moscow, skates next. Ladies' short program continues. Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers ringside. At this point, Yelena Sokolova in the lead over Sarah Hughes and Sasha Cohen of the U.S. But here comes the skater that many in this building have come to see, Irina Slutskaya, the 21-year-old from Moscow, the three-time world medalist and the defending Grand Prix champion. Huge win at Skate Canada, already in the Grand Prix over Michelle Kwan.
Opening triple Lutz, double loop. Like Sarah Hughes, Irina Slutskaya has a very nice timing and pace to her skating. One thing that can get a skater into trouble is rushing the jumps. Nice again. They never deviate, or try not to anyway, from the timing, so that you see solid results like that within the jumps. Hoping to keep it going here on this triple flip. Again, nice, confident, and very sure. And this is, in my opinion, what really sets her apart from all the other ladies. The variation we see on these spins, and it gets better. You can really see the attack in her skating, energy that I was talking about that we didn't see a couple of years ago.
That perhaps maybe the main difference between Irina Slutskaya now and back in '99 when she had the awful year?
Yes, and she's fit. Ready for the challenge, in good shape.
First saw her back in '96 when she became the first Russian or Soviet woman ever to win the European title. She has won 3 in all.
But again, look at these various positions that we're seeing in the spin, then grabbing the blade, going into a fantastic Bielman spin, and again now on the other foot. Flexibility at its best. You can't do much better than that in your home country. She has got to be pleased. Just the way she wants to start.
And I think she felt a lot of pressure coming in. We saw the fans, and she's at home. She's from Moscow, but she's here in Russia. And earlier in the week, trying to talk to her, maybe interview her, and you sense that she did feel the pressure.
A little superstition there, but she just wants to stay focused. I can respect that.
Cup of Russia last year was her first major title in some 2 years. It got her rolling, and it skated awfully well to open up this year.
Here's that great timing that she has and the confidence she needs to get through these jumps without any problem whatsoever. And I just love this First the camel spin, now a sit spin to a layback. Grabs the foot up into the Bielmann spin, and then look at how she's able to once again not slow down in her spins, but even gain speed. That's the sign of someone who's spent a lot of time with these spins, and the judges respect that. Nice.
And now the marks as she sits alongside Zhana Gromova, who has coached her since she was some 6 years old. Required element marks, one 5.7, the rest 5.8.
And these are all fine marks, all very deserved. She's done well, and the presentation marks in some cases go up a 1/10 of a point, and that's also very acceptable. What a way to begin.
So Irina Slutskaya vaulted into the lead here. When we come back, the 18-year-old back in her original hometown, Victoria Volchkova of Russia, skates next. Down to the final skater here in the ladies short program. 2 Russians at the top, Slutskaya, Sokolova, followed by 2 Americans, Hughes and Cohen. But a large hand for Victoria Volchkova here in her original hometown of St. Petersburg. Two-time European bronze medalist who was 6th in the world last season.
Tall young lady at 5'5". What impresses me about her is she usually gets such great spring in her jumps. Here, the opening triple Lutz, double toe loop. That was just fine.
She lives in Moscow now. She moved there when she was 13 to train with well-known coach Viktor Kudryavtsev. Lives with her grandparents there. Her parents still live right here in St. Petersburg.
Oh, just backed off that triple flip. You could see it in her expression. Scared. You can't be like that when you're attacking difficult jumps like that.
We saw her at Skate America, the first event in the Grand Prix series, and she did not skate well. She placed 4th in Colorado Springs.
And a somewhat sloppy landing on the double axel. She started off with such a good opening jump combination and then started to think about it. Well, that certainly was not what she was looking for. I'm really surprised that she had that bad fall on the triple flip after such a great opening triple Lutz, double toe loop.
Well, early in the season at Skate America, part of the problem was she had 2 inflamed Achilles because she tried a new brand of boots over the summer, and she missed some training time due to that injury, but now she should be near 100%. Victoria Volchkova.
Wonderful height on this triple Lutz jump. She really trusts her timing, gets up into the air nicely, stops the rotation, and does a fine double toe loop. Unfortunately for her, she didn't have that commitment going into this triple flip. You can just sort of see it that, uh-oh, and her placement of the foot as it goes into the ice, picks in, is incorrect, and she falls quite hard. And that will be a substantial deduction to her.
Here's her longtime coach, Viktor Kudryavtsev. Now the marks for Victoria. Wow, 4.6, the low mark, up to a 5.0 for required elements. So these are very much lower than she is used to and that she expected coming in. And now the marks for presentation, 4.9 up to 5.6, a wide range, but Victoria Volchkova into 7th place after her performance in the short program. That's a major disappointment here at home. So the standings after the short program, Irina Slutskaya in the lead, Yelena Sokolova, 2 Russians at the top, but the Americans holding on to the 3rd and 4th spots. Sarah Hughes in 3rd, controlling her own destiny heading to the free skate, and then Sasha Cohen in impressive 4th place after the short. Right now, let's go over and check in with Peter Carruthers, who has made his way over to have a word with the 2 Americans. Peter?
Okay, Terry, we've got the traveling team as we go through Europe, Sasha Cohen and Sarah Hughes. After last week, where you had that disappointment in Germany, how did you come back and do so well in the short program?
Well, I have a goal that I'm working towards, and each competition is an experience for me, so I practiced really hard in between, and this is what I've been practicing, so I was really happy with what I did.
Now, how do you focus and not have those same mistakes in the free program here in Russia as you did in Germany in the free program?
Well, you know, I tried hard on all of the jumps that I fell on. I just think that I had to have a little bit more confidence with them, check a little bit harder, and I think I'll do a good program.
Okay, Sarah, you're in 3rd place. Is it where you want to be going into the free program at this point?
Yeah, I'm really happy with how I skated. I think I was faster than I skated in Germany, and my skating felt strong.
What's your approach going into the free program?
I always have the same approach going into every free program I do. Go out and skate the best I can, just like I've been practicing. And it's always difficult, you know, competing week after week. And this is already my 3rd Grand Prix event. And so far, I'm really happy with how this whole series has been going.
Okay, well, Americans in 3rd and 4th place after the short program. Good luck to the 2 of you. Terry, back to you.
Forget the short programs tomorrow night over on ESPN, and Friday night on Lifetime, the finals of dance and pairs. The men's free skate continues here in Russia. Matt Savoie, your current leader, but here is the reigning American champion, Michael Weiss, trying to make up for just an awful performance in the short program. This, his season debut. He's had the stress fracture in his left foot, which has kept him off the ice. Here in Russia, he is in 6th place after the short program. And our first look at a new competitive free skate for him. He's debuting this program.
His music, the William Tell Overture.
And by the way, the marks for Ivan Denev range from 5.1 to 5.5 overall, putting him in 2nd place right behind Matt Savoie.
He was really struggling on practice this morning, the last man to leave the ice, trying to find his jumps. He's really reaching. So now his opening jump will be the triple axel. Oh, really completely off. It looked as though he didn't have any awareness of where he was in the air. He's in a slump. I just can't imagine him pulling off a quad. If he does after that triple axel, it'll be amazing. And he doesn't. No, he's just off his program.
To his credit, you mentioned it earlier, he did not shy away from the bad performance in the short program. Did not make excuses, did not say his foot was worse than we expected, did not say it was jet lag, the long trip. He said, I was just not good.
Now another attempt at the triple axel and a single. This is just completely out of character for a world bronze medalist in men's figure skating. Something must be wrong.
Well, you hate to see this. We have not seen Michael Weiss skate this poorly in a long, long time.
Triple flip. That's the first thing he's done that he looked comfortable on.
Peter, it's so quiet in this arena right now. I mean, these fans, they know Michael Weiss very well. I think they're stunned too.
Now the triple loop. Oh, goodness. You got to hope that this music is going to motivate him.
Have you ever had this happen?
Oh, yes. I'm not saying that, believe me, I've had this happen before. He's in a slump. He's just trying to find his jumps. I've seen it happen to Scott Hamilton, and now look, something's wrong. He stopped. He left out a jump. He must have something more wrong than what we're seeing here. He does get a triple Lutz off at the end of the program.
Well, he'll want to burn the tape of this one.
Yeah.
Move on, forget about it.
Unbelievable to think he only landed 3 triples in his program and he still looks perplexed.
It appears that he's looking for something on the ice. Yeah, there it is. Wow, more problems than we even knew during that program. What is that, a coin?
A coin. What else could go wrong? I mean, that'll stop you in your tracks. What a disaster. Here it looks as though he's having trouble finding his center. He can't get up over his right side to rotate the way he's used to. As though he's learning the jump for the first time. And then there, another attempt at the triple axel and only a single. And again, another single. Bizarre.
Well, this has got to be so difficult for him as he sits alongside Audrey Wisiger, his coach, to sit and wait for marks that he's not going to like at all. He's among the best in the world, but 4.6 up to 5.0 for technical merit.
That speaks for itself. It's very unfortunate.
And now the presentation marks are higher, but Michael Weiss will go back to Fairfax, Virginia, and start to get to work in Russia. And we welcome you back inside, and here is the headliner, the man they have come to see here in St. Petersburg, the hometown boy, Evgeny Plushenko, in the lead after the short program and trying to win the gold medal here and then some. Always with Alexei Yagudin, his countryman and the 3-time world champion, in the back of his mind. Here is the reigning European champion.
Skating to music from the motion picture, Once Upon a Time in America. He opens with an amazing combination. Quadruple toe loop, the first. Triple toe loop, double loop.
Peter, that just makes me laugh every time I see it. I just can't believe somebody could do something like that.
Count them, 9 rotations. He just executes. Now, the next quad. Triple toe loop. He added that to the program because he feels so good.
Guess what, folks? He's got it going tonight.
He is amped.
What about this choreography, Peter?
Well, he had that great opening, and sometimes it's a little bit silly to me, but I'd like to see him not be so over the top with this, but hey, the guy just did all these great quads. And look at that triple axel. I mean, he's so smooth, controlled. Now remember, Alexei Romanov was a little bit different with his choreography, and he, of course, was coached by Alexei Mishin also. What we like in America, maybe they have a different interpretation of artistry here in Russia.
We tend to forget that. Different cultures, what plays around the world is not necessarily what plays to an audience at home.
But shoot, if he keeps jumping like that, the judges just have to give him the scores. Only a double Lutz there. A small little mistake.
And the sigh from the crowd.
They know skating. Shape he is in. He's just taking these jumps off as though there's nothing to it. People clapping so loud it's shaking our cameras. That was spectacular.
When Alexei Yagudin won Skate Canada earlier this season, you and I both commented that's a performance that someone will have to go a long way to top the rest of the season. He may not have topped that right here, but came pretty close to matching it. Evgeny Plushenko. And Peter, so many athletes, a lot of them tune out the crowd and don't see anything besides what they're doing out there on the playing field of the ice. He seems to make eye contact with people in the crowd. He's so aware.
That's exactly right. That's because he's so comfortable with his skating. There's Alexei Mishin. Got to give him a lot of credit. My goodness.
What a homecoming party for Plushenko.
Now here was the first quadruple toe loop, huge height, big in the air, and then he reaches back for a triple toe loop, outstanding double loop. He can do a triple at the end too, amazing. Look how close together the feet come to generate that rotation, just fantastic. The arms, legs, and shoulders bringing it all together, perfect. And now the next quad, he just stays with his technique. It's always the same, and that is why he is so successful. A strong performance. Well done.
Now you know these are going to be extremely high. Look at the first set, 5.8s, 5.9s.
There's not much more you can do in men's figure skating than what he just did. Very good.
Alexei Mishin alongside, and how about the presentation marks in the perfect 6.0s? A man at the top of his game. Wow. It's been all smiles for Irina Slutskaya so far this season, and why not? Content in her personal life, the married 21-year-old from Moscow is free to enjoy her time on the ice. In her win over Michelle Kwan at Skate Canada, she displayed the boundless energy that became her trademark as a young teenager. Now comes a different challenge. Sarah Hughes may not have the experience, but the 15-year-old from New York has the talent and the will. After 2 second-place finishes behind 2 world champions in the Grand Prix, Hughes is again in a position to win gold, while young Sasha Cohen looks to medal on the international stage for the first time at this level. The ladies' free skate is next. The Church on Spilled Blood, even more magnificent during the nighttime hours here as we welcome you back to St. Petersburg, Russia, to our continuing coverage of the Cup of Russia. And the ladies on the ice warming up right now, about to decide the gold medal through 3 events in the Grand Prix Series. Right now it's Michelle Kwan in the lead. She's already wrapped up a spot in the Grand Prix final. Maria Butirskaya of Russia in second, and then Sarah Hughes with 9 points. Today is very important for her. She could clinch a spot in Tokyo at the Grand Prix final today. And hi again, everybody. Terry Gannon back with Peter Carruthers. Right now it's 2 Russians, 2 Americans rounding out the top 4 heading into this free skate. Irina Slutskaya back at home in Russia. She is the leader right now, but Peter in 3rd place, well positioned, the American. Sarah Hughes, she has been so good so far in the Grand Prix. Does she have a chance at challenging Slutskaya here?
I think Sarah can challenge Slutskaya, but let's begin with Slutskaya. She's at the top of her game right now, but it hasn't always been like this. Go back 2 years when she was really down and out. She almost quit the sport, but what she did was slowly rise up again. I think what she learned during that period was how to become mentally tough, and so far this season it's been full speed ahead. As for American Sarah Hughes, what she's done a good job with is she has chosen a very good piece of music from the ballet Don Quixote, along with coach Robin Wagner. They have really developed the expression and choreography within her skating, and that has really helped Sarah a lot. Couple that with the fact that she's doing a triple-triple combination, and that's a big wallop.
It's been awfully tough so far in the Grand Prix. The other American here, the young 16-year-old from California, Sasha Cohen. She made her senior international debut last week in Germany. She was great in the short program there and then just fell apart in the free skate.
Yeah.
But she came back strong here in the short.
Well, let's see if she can be a gamer here. She did a good short program. Quickly, John Nix, her coach, redirected her attention to this week. He told her to go out, forget about last week, and do a good free program. If she can do that, that's a big comeback for her.
All right, the big question right now, who do you like here today?
I have to go with Slutskaya. I think Sarah Hughes can actually outskate Slutskaya, but Slutskaya's got that international prestige, so it'll be tough for her.
Helps to be well known and well respected and been around for some time. Irina Slutskaya trying to win gold here in St. Petersburg. Well, the standings right now heading into the free skate. Slutskaya in the lead, but Yelena Sokolova, another Russian, right behind. Then the 2 Americans, Sarah Hughes and Sasha Cohen.
Елена Соколова, Россия.
Well, one advantage that Sarah Hughes has, and it's a big one, she will be the last one to take the ice this afternoon. But here's the 20-year-old who lives and trains right here in St. Petersburg. She is in second place right now, Yelena Sokolova. And what a win this would be for her. She's trying to turn around her career. Very successful a couple of years ago, but the last 2 seasons she has failed to make the European or World Championship teams here in Russia.
And that may be the incentive she needs to start things off in a good way here. Nice opening triple Lutz. A lot of competition within Russia in ladies figure skating, and that really elevates the sport in this country. There is a very strong combination. She has changed what she originally was going to do. She just did a triple toe loop, triple toe loop. It was supposed to be a triple flip, but that was great. Now, triple loop, she's really on a tear. Strategy just then when she put that triple toe, double loop combination in.
On the fly?
Yeah, absolutely.
She really has started to turn her career around. She went to the Worlds back in '98 where she placed 8th after winning the bronze medal at the Russian National Championships. But this past spring, she changed coaches. She was working with Viktor Kudryavtsev, who is well known here, but now she is working with Alexei Mishin, who coaches Evgeny Plushenko, and it's very rare that he would coach a high-level female skater. Works mostly with men.
Oh, so determined, really taking her time before she picked into the ice to go up in the air for that triple flip. Zhao trying for the triple loop. Failed effort on the second jump.
Such a different experience to skate at home. Sleep in your own bed, be around your family, all your friends here watching.
But she really is enjoying herself on the ice. A nice smile, relaxed. She has really turned in a good performance for her. That triple combination with a double loop on the end of it was a big surprise.
Almost out of the spotlight, too. Everyone focusing on Irina Slutskaya and the 2 Americans chasing. This could be the gold medalist right here, Yelena Sokolova.
Oh my, did she get things rolling with this? This is the triple toe loop. And then immediately she steps into another triple toe loop, 6 rotations, and then a double loop after it. So not a good landing there on the third jump, but the feet coming in for nice tight rotation and then settling down to do the next triple. And then here, the double loop, but not a terrific landing, stepping forward there, but still good credit on that triple-triple combo.
Been a tough couple of years for Yelena Sokolova, but she said, I never, ever thought of quitting. Technical merit marks now, 5.6 to 5.8.
And that is a situation where someone said, I'm going to go out there and give it more than what I think I can do.
Presentation marks 5.2, the low mark, but all the way up to 5.8, a high standard set by Yelena Sokolova of Russia. When we come back, it's the 16-year-old U.S. silver medalist, Sasha Cohen, who last week skated to an unsettling 5th place in her Grand Prix debut. But here in Russia, she is in 4th after the short program and has high hopes of a strong comeback.
I was really disappointed with myself because that skate came out of nowhere. I had been at home, I'd been doing pretty good run-throughs, maybe making like one mistake at most. So I was surprised with that skate, but it happens, I guess, to everyone. So I've been working really hard after that, and hopefully I can improve upon that here.
Sasha Cohen takes the ice here in Russia right after this message.
Cohen, Соединенные Штаты Америки.
The ladies' free skate continues now, and we begin to find out a lot about the 16-year-old from Laguna Niguel, California, Sasha Cohen. She's done it on the domestic stage, now trying to do it on the international stage. In 4th place after the short program, she is, of course, the reigning U.S. silver medalist. Did not skate well last week in her first senior international event. Can she do it today?
If she keeps that up, you're darn right. Beautiful triple Lutz double toe loop. Stay settled, not deviate from the timing that she had on that first jump. Continue on with these tough triples. There's the toe loop, nice. Next to the triple Lutz, the second hardest triple in her program, the triple flip, and oh, determined not to go down.
She hung on. Sasha might be halfway across the globe, but she does have family members here. Her mother grew up not in Russia, but in this part of the world, in Odessa, Ukraine. In fact, her mother, a former gymnast, and her grandfather, a gymnast who once performed for Stalin.
In the program. You could just see
she
it.
Gave you the look.
You better believe it. triple, the Sao Cow. Charlotte spiral, tremendous extension. Terry, as a skater, that's the greatest lesson you can learn. To have a terrible week and then come back and skate under pressure like this. Forget about the placement here. What she's done is she's learned how to manage her nerves.
She doesn't have to prove she can come out and do it on the international stage anymore. She just did. Sasha Cohen, the 16-year-old John Nix. Boy, he's been instrumental in keeping your spirits up, keeping her motivated. Last week in Germany, he said, that's all right, don't worry about it, we'll go get him next week. And that's exactly what she has done.
She kept her focus, and she got up into the air with a beautiful position, allowing her the triple Lutz double toe loop. And then this beautiful extension that she has. You have to work so hard in the ballet room to attain such a position like this. Look at that, completely perpendicular to the ice. And this is the competitor.
Just as he did when she did not skate well last week, John Nix just said to her, don't worry about the scores, they don't matter.
And that's exactly what she needs to do. She has learned a big lesson this week to manage the pressure. Wonderful performance.
So the technical merit marks 5.3 up to 5.7. And now the presentation marks 5.4 up to 5.9. So Sasha Cohen into second place, right behind Yelena Sokolova. Coming up next, Yelena Plushenko of Ukraine. Her parents were told by doctors when she was young they should bring her out onto the ice because she had bronchitis, pneumonia, 4 lung operations. And now she's a minor celebrity in Japan. She's done a number of endorsements because of her skating there. Plushenko skates when we come back. Meanwhile, the ladies free skate continues. Yelena Sokolova in the lead right now over Sasha Cohen. But we continue with Yelena Plushenko of Ukraine in 5th place after the short program. 24-year-old from Kiev. And another skater who we saw in Germany at Nations Cup last week. She placed 4th, just ahead of Sasha Cohen.
A 2-foot landing, incomplete rotation on the triple Lutz. Not sure of her timing on that opening jump.
Here competing not only for the medals but also for prize money. The winner takes home a check for $30,000, as it is in every one of the 6 Grand Prix events.
And putting the foot down on the triple loop, that shows a sign of weakness when the judges see that. She's done that twice now in the program.
Peter, and this isn't an excuse in any way for Yelena Lyashenko and the two-footed jumps, but this is a huge building in here. It holds about 20,000 people. They actually play soccer matches inside, and the stands are quite a ways from the actual surface of the ice. Can that have any effect on skaters?
It absolutely does. You don't really feel connected to the audience, and sometimes you feed off the audience to motivate you through the performance. Big single, Salchow. She was trying for a triple, but if you get distracted, lose your focus, that's the result. Any doubt, and fear takes you over. Desperate attempt at the triple Salchow, but she knows that there have been mistakes. And actually finishing up off the music.
Well, that kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The smile and...
oh boy, back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Yelena Lyashenko actually has had her best years around the mid-90s, trying to get back to that form here.
This is the triple Lutz. Watch what happens with the landing foot and the free foot that's supposed to be off the ice. 2 feet on the ice, not good. You can see better here that she just completely lands on 2 feet, under-rotated. That's the reason for the failed landing. And now here, this was better. She gets the 3 rotations, pitching forward a little bit, but much better than the first attempt.
So here we go with the marks. The first set for technical merit, 5.0 to 5.3, Peter.
Well, with the mistakes that she had, these marks are certainly indicative of why we're seeing down to 5.0.
In 5th after the short program and in danger of falling out of the top 5. And here are the presentation marks, 5.2 up to 5.5. So Yelena Lyashenko is the 95 European bronze medalist, but has struggled recently. Currently is in 4th place. We're coming back with the favorite, Irina Slutskaya. And even though she's won 3 European titles, last year was her first Russian national championship. She has had the same coach since the age of 6. Slutskaya skates next.
Программу исполняет Irina Slutskaya, Россия.
The lady of the moment, set to go now. Irina Slutskaya, back home in Russia. Listen to the crowd. The 3-time world medalist, European champion in 96, in 97, in 2000. And right now, it is Yelena Sokolova in the lead. Remember, Sarah Hughes is the last to skate this afternoon. But Slutskaya is on a roll. She comes off the big win over Michelle Kwan at Skate Canada. Here she goes.
And this music from the same ballet that Sarah Hughes will skate to, Don Quixote. When she defeated Michelle Kwan at the Grand Prix final, she did 2 triple-triple combinations. If she does these combinations, they will be the first in the program. Here's the first triple-triple, triple Lutz. Only a double loop and struggling a little there. Now, another attempt, triple-triple, triple sow cow, and only a double loop. She did not complete triple-triple combination.
It's a smile that does take you back to '96 when she became the first Soviet or Russian woman ever to win the European Championship. Many highs and lows throughout her career. She has known them both, and I think you're right, Peter. I think what she learned was that she had to enjoy this sport and go out there and just see where it takes her and not worry about things.
Triple Lutz. And not touching down, but not an attractive landing at all. Triple loop, double loop.
When she won this competition last season, which was a turnaround year for her, really coming back off an awful year the year before, it was the first major title that she had won in 2 years.
Has become much more lyrical when she skates, interpreting the music with more sensitivity to the pacing. And a double flip. And not on her game with the jumps today. This certainly creates an interesting situation. Double toe, triple toe. This is where she excels. We've said it before, these spins show great variation. And certainly, they're difficult to do. However, this was a performance that did not have the excitement that we usually see from Irina Slutskaya. No terrible falls, but she did fall short of rotation.
Well, you feel a breeze, a little draft in here?
Oh, yes.
She just opened the door for Sarah Hughes. Irina Slutskaya, the crowd loves her, but that was not the performance she was looking for. She wasn't perfect at Skate Canada when she beat Michelle Kwan, so this may be enough to hold on. We'll have to wait and see.
This is her opening triple Lutz. Pay attention to the air position, that's fine, but then a double loop and an awkward landing with a hitch on the leg that was off the ice, not a continuous edge on the run out. The feet are fine, however, watch how awkward it gets right here. She's short of rotation, she actually cheated her double loop. And what stands out in my mind is this very awkward position on the end. Hey, these are hard jumps, don't get me wrong, but Not a beautiful landing there.
There is one thing you can say about that performance. She fought extremely hard for everything that she got out on the ice.
Absolutely.
The first set, Peter, technical merit marks 5.6 to 5.8.
Well, her base mark is very high to see scores of 5.8. Considering some of the mistakes, what will the presentation be? In almost all cases,
presentation
higher.
marks, yeah, extremely higher. 5.7 up to 5.9. So at the moment, at least, no question about it, Irina Slutskaya, your solid leader. But it is not over yet. Sarah Hughes about to step on the ice, the U.S. bronze medalist. Based on what she has accomplished so far this season, she comes here extremely confident.
I'm so pleased with my skating and how I've been performing this season. I skated so well at Skate America, took second place. I skated really well at Nations Cup, took second place, and right now I couldn't ask for more.
Back in St. Petersburg, it comes down to this moment now for Sarah Hughes. Irina Slutskaya has the lead right now over Yelena Sokolova and Sasha Cohen. But if Sarah Hughes skates well, skates cleanly, she should be the gold medalist. In third place after the short program, she wins the free skate, she wins gold.
Music, Don Quixote, the same as Slutskaya, but watch the execution of character within this music. Salchow. Oh, that was a big mistake. She wanted the triple loop on the end of that triple Salchow.
Really only her second mistake throughout the entire Grand Prix series. 2 events at Skate America, 2 portions of the competition at Nations Cup, through the short program here.
Now the triple loop, and then right back on track there.
Narrowly missed qualifying for the Grand Prix final last season. She finished 8th in the Grand Prix standings. Remember, the top 6 move on to Tokyo. With a strong performance here, she should be able to wrap up a spot.
Lutz, double toe loop. She's looking a little bit conservative here in her skating. She wants to make sure that she follows through and executes the jumps. Triple flip. Nice. Inside edge.
You know, we only see her on the ice competing, or you and I see her practicing, but I mean, she's 15 years old. She's a high school sophomore. She's traveling around the world. And while she's not competing, she's seeing the sights. Couldn't wait to get here in St. Petersburg and see the Hermitage and Peter the Great's museum. Working on her homework via computer over the internet.
This is where she's improving, is the presentation. Lutz. Triple toe loop. And the final combination spin. Pretty good for her. She changed up her jumps at the end of the program. She added a triple Lutz. She did 6 triples, 2 triple Lutzes, and Irina Slutskaya did 4 triples. How will this weigh out in the judge's mind? One small mistake on the loop jump. She wanted a triple.
You saw her coach, Robin Wagner, has been so instrumental in her career, and Sarah Hughes now has to wait. She can smile because she knows she skated extremely well, as she has done throughout the entire Grand Prix series. But 2 silvers so far behind 2 world champions. Can she finally get the gold? We'll be back with her mark in a moment. A very happy Sarah Hughes following a very good performance. Now we wait.
I think she outskated Irina Slutskaya. However, this small little mistake, not a glaring error, triple Salchow, she only did a single loop. She really wants to pull in and rotate at least a double on that combination. Very tight feet there, but then she just doesn't get the timing, loses the rhythm on that second jump where she wanted the triple. But this nice triple Lutz jump, very strong. And Robin Wagner at the end of the program, delighted. I have to say that technically she has outskated Irina Slutskaya. The judges still have to post their marks.
Wow. Whoa.
Well, Peter, not to start anything right now, but as you look at the marks, remember there is no U.S. judge on this panel.
Regardless of that, for the Hungarian judge to give a 5.2, that's just ludicrous.
For technical merit, the low mark 5.2. That is a bit unbelievable. And now, Sarah says hello to everyone. Presentation marks 5.5 to 5.8.
And these, it's surprising to me that they are that low in some cases. I mean, she really outskated her technically with the jumps, and she didn't have those abrupt landings with mistakes.
And not only does Sarah Hughes not win the gold medal here, she finishes behind Elena Sokolova. Hughes finishes 3rd with the bronze medal. Do you buy that?
Oh, no, I do not.
Wow.
I think they're in shock, too.
So it's Irina Slutskaya who wins the gold medal here in St. Petersburg. 2 Russians finish on the top 2 steps of the podium. Elena Sokolova 2nd, Sarah Hughes 3rd, and Sasha Cohen, with a great performance in the free skate, finishes up 4th. And Peter Carruthers has made his way over to have a word right now with Sarah Hughes.
Thanks, Terry. Here with Coach Robin Wagner and Sarah Hughes. What did you think of your performance, first of all?
Oh, I'm so happy with how I skated. It was great. I felt I skated fast. I related to the audience and the judges, and my skating keeps getting better, and that's all I can ask for.
You may have related to the judges, but I don't think they relayed the right scores. They were very low, and I thought that she outskated Irina Slutskaya. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't see Irina skate because I was in the back with Sarah. But I think right now the main point for Sarah is to keep on getting better with each event, which she certainly did. This is her 3rd Grand Prix, and she skated well in all 3, and this one being the best. And that's all I'm concerned about right now.
If you could go back and do it again, would you have done anything differently?
You know, I couldn't say I would do anything differently. I'm really happy, and I'll go home, work on more triples, and put them in the program.
Well, you keep working, and good luck. Thanks.
Thanks, Peter.
Terry, back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. A look at the overall Grand Prix standings through 4 events. Michelle Kwan already in the final. Sokolova and Sarah Hughes with 16 points pretty much assured of a spot in the final, although not mathematically at this point. And Sasha Cohen, unfortunately, on the verge of being eliminated from the Grand Prix final. Irina Slutskaya and Evgeny Plushenko will see them next in Japan when they try to secure a spot in the final. But next week will be in the City of Light, Paris, for Trophy La Ligue. Alexei Yagudin, the three-time world champ, and Maria Butirskaya, the 99 world champion, will secure their spots, they hope, in the Grand Prix final. Until then, for our producer, Kathy Cook, our director, Doug Wilson, for Peter Carruthers, I'm Terry Gannon. Good night from Russia. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. Right now, let's go back to our Wide World of Sports studio in Times Square.